What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman. Now, it's been rumored for about a year, especially from industry insider Mikey Sutton, that the Illuminati, a new Avengers group formed by the heads of all of the other superhero groups across the world, would come together and make an appearance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And with news of development of the Fantastic Four directly from Kevin Feige, the rumors of the Inhumans, some of the characters that we've already know we've got, and of course the introduction of Namor, we were well on our way to the formation of the team. As reported yesterday by the Illuminati, it's official, Marvel Studios is now working on this team up to come into the MCU. We're going to break down all the characters included with this team, this most recent report, how it's going to shape the future of not only the Avengers team, but the Marvel Cinematic Universe going forward, what huge event we already know has started to take place in the MCU and that would lead to the formation of the Illuminati, and of course how this will lead to the return of Tony Stark. We're going to break it all down, but first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we're giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, as well as a whole slew of other Marvel related stuff, including this insane 1/4 scale XM Studios Beta Ray Bill, as well as our 3rd Infinity Saga box set. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and if you want, stick around at the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So this was reported yesterday by the Illuminati.com, but as I mentioned in the prologue, industry insider Mikey Sutton actually leaked this in the later part of last year. So although their sources may be different, this is not brand new news. We've actually reported on it here at the channel. Several other sites have reported on it as well. And yesterday's report, they went on to say, quote, "Our team has learned from a new casting list that Marvel Studios is in the early stages of developing some kind of project based off Marvel Comics' Illuminati team. The only confirmed details are that Marvel CCO Kevin Feige is listed as the producer for this project, and the current title of the project is Marvel's Illuminati. There are no other talent attached, and there is no confirmation on whether this project is a movie or a future show for Disney Plus." Now, if you know anything about the Illuminati team, imagining this for Disney Plus is sort of a stretch, considering it's basically an all-star lineup of all of the leaders of all of the superhero teams on Earth, well, minus one that's already passed in the MCU, Tony Stark. Speaking of which, all the way back in Iron Man 2, they actually seeded their first Easter egg for the Illuminati. You'll remember at the beginning of the film when he's on Capitol Hill under deposition, making Justin Hammer look like a fool. He whips out his phone in order to hack the television sets. You can clearly see an app button named the Illuminati. Now, that would have been really early in the game, so to speak. It's hard to say they would have seen that growing into this, and now we're missing one key member of the team in Iron Man, and we're going to double back on that, but at least Tony Stark's gotten an introduction in the MCU. As far as 2/3 of the Illuminati, we've yet to meet them, and that's sort of interesting considering a production grid or any official news would show up, considering how far down the road this might be. Now, of course, like a lot of other superhero teams, they've gone through many iterations, changes to the lineup, and in fact, Captain America was even a part of the Illuminati at one point under the title The New Avengers, though, as presented on the classic cover. When you think about the Illuminati, you think about the classic 6. Tony Stark, Iron Man, Professor Xavier, Namor, Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, the Sorcerer Supreme himself, and Doctor Strange, and Black Bolt, all the leaders of their respective superhero groups and or the Kings. Speaking of which, Black Panther also involved in this group, maybe not as a part of the Classic 6, but a heavy player in the Illuminati as well, being the King of Wakanda. And it's probably no news to some of you that Namor's debut is rumored in a couple of places in upcoming Marvel Phase 4. One of them was Black Panther. The more likely spot, however, is the upcoming Eternals. The Eternals giving the MCU a chance to fill in the gaps in some of the earliest parts of the goings-on on Earth for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which means that's an awesome opportunity to introduce Atlantis and the earliest beginnings and origins for Namor. And we've even heard that there's someone been cast as Namor as a kid during that film, and that we'll see him later on in the MCU. The same goes for the upcoming Black Bolt. We just reported last week in a video I'll make sure to link at the end of this that the Inhumans are indeed coming to the MCU as well, that the TV show obviously didn't do any justice to the team, and Kevin Feige wants to bring them back. That was part of a scoop from Mikey Sutton, industry insider and friend of the channel as well. That still leaves out Professor Xavier and Reed Richards. At least we've heard the Fantastic Four come from Kevin Feige's mouth, and we know with all the Easter eggs that were in Spider-Man Far From Home, undoubtedly it's only a matter of time before the Fantastic Four are introduced, giving us a majority of the team. The problem is, one key member in Professor X is a long way off, or so we think. Look, with all of the rumors we've reported on, all of the sort of X-Men adjacent and X-Men origin characters showing up in the upcoming Marvel Phase 4, and we've chronicled a ton of them, Professor Xavier is nowhere to be found, and it's sort of weird to think about him being introduced in any time soon, other than one particular place in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, where, of course, we know they went back and offered some of the original X-Men a chance to take up their roles, take up their mantles again in the MCU, to which they said no. That would have featured the older version of Professor X, played by Patrick Stewart, somehow showing up in that film, maybe linking to whomever would have played him here in the 616 or the main MCU continuity. Either way, for all of these characters that are either already in the MCU, like Black Panther and Doctor Strange, or yet to be introduced, in some way we kind of know of all of them coming, there's one that's already passed, a key player that I said we would double back to in Iron Man, Tony Stark. Now, we've also chronicled a couple of times him talking candidly about coming back, why he would, the situation that would make sense, and how it would have to happen. A lot of us have sort of speculated that the Ironheart series is the most likely place for him to show up, AI, in a sort of hologram or otherwise. But this makes the most sense to me, an Illuminati appearance as part of this group, why they were even formed in the first place as a response to the Kree-Skrull War, which we also know could be coming down the road. Marvel Phase 4, a huge Kree secret invasion plotline that could lead to the formation of the Illuminati after that. And if that's so, that's the time to bring back Tony Stark. A lot of us have said that one of the things we're going to miss is the interaction between Reed Richards and Tony Stark, and especially Tony Stark as a member of the Illuminati. It's so hard to imagine them bringing together this specific team, and the thing that makes this team dynamic so interesting is that all of the members are respective leaders. It's basically an all-star team, if you will. It's hard to imagine them putting that together and then not including the MCU's Tony Stark, played by Robert Downey Jr. And of course, he's had an arc now. He's changed. He's not the same Tony Stark that he was at the beginning of the MCU, but he still would play so nicely. If you guys thought that the interaction between him and Doctor Strange was interesting and or funny and or compelling, you only can imagine what happens between them and the Illuminati. It's my thought in contention that if Robert Downey Jr. is going to come back for any specific reason, any real reason, this is the team up that makes the most sense for it to happen. Not a Secret Wars down the road, not to come back and mentor Ironheart, not to come back and even mentor Tom Holland's Peter Parker, but specifically to show up in the Illuminati. So when I hear this, and I hear that it's in production, that's what makes me think this is where he's going to come back. But beyond that and speculation, the truth is that even if this is just now shown up somewhere as a production or casting official line on wherever it was released, doesn't mean it's anytime soon. They have so much work to do in the MCU building out these characters, and hopefully will do so over the next 2 or 3 years and or phases, that an Illuminati New Avengers project would probably be somewhere in the, say, 5 to 10 year range, and even at that. Of course, we've always argued for Marvel Studios here, looking ahead and sort of working on a 10-year timeline. We said that may have changed considering all of the delays this year, but it doesn't mean that that's changed where they want to go, and so if it takes longer to get there, that is what it is. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments as far as the Illuminati are concerned. Number one, do you agree with me that they've got to bring Tony Stark's Iron Man back for that? They've got to bring him back. 2, do you see what I'm saying about still missing out on some major players here in the MCU, especially Professor X? How the heck are they going to squeeze him in any time soon? And how hype are you guys for the fact that they're even going to try to attempt this, and what it means for the formation of this team, considering how many other teams we're going to have in the MCU, including the Fantastic Four and the Inhumans, before we ever get there. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below, and quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We're still giving away 2 PlayStation 4 Pros, the next of which is at the 700,000 subscriber mark. If you want to be entered to win, all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell, leave a like and a comment on this video, and that'll automatically enter you to win all the rest of the prizes here at the channel, like this insane 1/4 scale XM Studios Beta Ray Bill. This is in no way an action figure at almost 3 feet tall. It's a museum quality representation of this Marvel character, as well as our 3rd Infinity Saga box set. Now guys, these were limited in production to 4,000 in pre-order. Once they were sold out last year, they absolutely shot up exponentially on the secondary market. We've gotten our hands on a 3rd one to give away at the end of this year. If you want to be entered to win the PlayStations, the Beta Ray Bill, or the Infinity Saga box set, or any of the other prizes we announce here at the channel, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button, then hit the notification bell with notifications turned on, leave a like and a comment on this video, and because it's truly random, the more videos you like and comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of the video, and if you've missed any previous winner announcements, all you have to do is scroll back to the channel, look for the winner announcement in the sub count in the title, click on that video, and scroll to the end. My name's Michael Roman. This is Everything Always. Guys, thanks so much for checking out the channel, and stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.